Jaren's one of those guys where a lot of times as fans, especially people who see him every game, night in and night out, we worry about what Jaren isn't instead of focusing on he's pretty awesome. The stuff that he is good at. He's
really defensive player of the year.
Yeah, he's pretty freaking good at it. He's the second youngest defensive player of the year ever. So, I mean, we just kind of forget about all that type of stuff. This is what I'm worried about. Not really worried, but I'm kind of anxious to see what the energy that Jaren gives off Monday. Because he just had a rough FIBA. Not actually rough, because he did fine.
Right.
But people's perception, they were just on him really tough. And I saw a real discouraging interview that a guy was doing with Jaren. I'm sure I was like, damn, man, got Jaren looking crazy on that joint. I'm interested to see the energy that he gives off. Do you think Jaren's going to come in super laced up, like mature, focused, ready? Do you think he's going to be joking around like normal? What version of Jaren do you expect to see on this stage Monday?
I think we still get high energy, goofy Jaren mixed with Jaren who understands the necessity for him to continue growing and being one of the leaders on this team. Like, I was in Las Vegas for the end of Summer League, and Jaren came back. Partially because it was WNBA All-Star Weekend, and so had some events linked to that, and loved Jaren, always giving a shout out to the W and making sure that, you know, he's always supporting there. But then coming back and watching the Grizzlies, and he was just so hyped to be there. Like, he was just itching to play basketball again. And a lot of people have noted this, but I think it's genuinely important. This is his first true healthy offseason. And so you have that offseason filled with being able to train all summer long, and then also having the opportunity to go play for Team USA. And even though it was a difficult journey and faced some significant hurdles, like, you learn so much. We've heard time and time again of these players who go and learn from playing amongst some of the best of their peers, learning from the variety of coaches, and whether you like the coaching or not, like, some of those guys are the best that we have in the game right now. And so he's able to funnel all of that and come back. And I would assume that he wants to channel all of that now into Grizzlies. And he's ready to go, too. Like, he doesn't need a warm-up period. He's warmed up. He's ready. He wants to bring this team back into a place where they're competing out the jump.
Yeah, Kevin Garnett talked about him being in rhythm. I definitely agree with that. I think he's going to have a heck of a season. I just want to see what his level of, what his energy is at. Like, I'm really interested to see how
I think it's continuing that balance of, like, he can be such a like cerebral guy and focused. And I saw even, I think he shared it on Instagram, that he was studying different forms of meditation, like visualizing, rebounding. And that can sound a little goofy, but, like, I think he's really serious about it. And so he mixes that joyful, like, youthful energy that we see from Jaren, jumping up and down, hyping up his teammates, never one to, like, shy away from making a joke. But if he can mix that in with, like, sincere focus and continuing to grow, I think that's where you get the best of both worlds with him. And he doesn't have to just be, like, all serious all the time.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to a big season with him again. Like I've been saying, he's a guy who, if he pulls it all together, if you're talking about a guy who's going to be a defensive player of the year talent, if he's doing that and he's averaging 19, 20-something points a game, that's all NBA. Right. I mean, so it could be that type of season for Jaren for sure. Last year's surprise player of training camp was, of course, Santi Aldama. We talked about that earlier. Who do you see breaking through and just being that surprise guy possibly this year?
I want it for Zaire Williams. I really want him to come back with a vengeance and to prove a point. I think another option is David Roddy, and we've started to get a feeling for big body Roddy and what he can do with his size, and seeing him, I believe, was it the Mavs game last year where he led that comeback? And just for, like, a rookie to have that moment, that can be a real confidence booster, and understanding, you know, even being one of the younger guys and just a second-year player, like the leadership that he can provide, and being one of those vocal guys in the locker room, and then also being just one of those tough, hard-nosed defensive guys. I think he could really take a step forward. He has shown a definite commitment to working this offseason. Another guy who's made the rounds, has played in a couple of the pro-ams and whatnot. So I'll go with David Roddy. I think he has an opportunity to take that next step.
I can see it. I think it could be Roddy. I know you mentioned Zaire. I think if the more important one is, if Zaire looks like that dude, that's a bigger deal than Roddy is.
Yes.
Because Zaire, you're talking 6'9", you know.
Long arms,
athletic.
two-way player, athletic. If he can get that three-point shot. But even outside of just that, like, we've seen him make those corner threes. But the mid-range game and being able to create for himself just gives the Grizzlies one more.
If he comes out hooping in training camp, like, that's real deal type stuff for sure.